I'm Jess.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Melissa. And together,
we are the Mama's Code.
Right, guys, so today we have a lovely mummy joining us. Her name is Hilary. Hilary, welcome.
Hi ladies. Hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good, getting through. Just being a mom.
How is your little one?
She's 4.5 months now. It's actually going really well. Better than what I expected, and then also better than what people make it out to be and advise you on. So to be honest, I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it. It's actually going really well, and every day is just something new, and it just keeps you on your feet. So I'm just loving being a mum, really. I don't know, maybe she's still young because she's still 4.5 months. I know when they start growing more and they start doing more, it's like you're all over the place. But so far, I've been doing well, I guess, and I like it and I love it.
That's good.
What would you say has been like the most challenging?
I think for me, it's about how to teach your baby, like, I don't know how to explain it, but for example, if she's just what the right things to teach her and bring her up by, because I think a lot of people, when I speak to them that are moms, they're like, oh, I have set schedules, and today she's doing this, and she's going to sleep at this time. And with me, it's never like that. It's never a set schedule. It's always like play it as it goes. And it's always like, if my baby wants to sleep today at 2 o'clock, she can. And if she wants to sleep at 6 o'clock tomorrow, she can. And sometimes I do question myself, is that really how I'm meant to be doing it? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? I think that's the most challenging thing for me, because I don't know if I'm bringing her up doing it by her rules, or am I meant to set the rules? That's something hard for me. So I'm still learning, like I told you guys. With me, as a person in general, I'm a very easygoing person. So if we're doing something different one day and then changing it and doing this, it's fine by me. But I know babies kind of need a routine. And they say sometimes if they don't have a routine, they can just go really, like all over the place and not really adapt well. And they say that they build this naughty behavior, or just do different things. So that's what I'm getting at. I don't know if she's gonna, I don't know if the word is spoiled, if she's gonna be spoiled, like, because
how it's gonna turn out.
Exactly, because I just play it how it goes, and I don't know if it's because I'm going up by how she is, or if I should actually set the rules and be like, okay, no, right, go to bed now.
Yeah, I think because she's still quite young, you can kind of get away with this right now. I think the older they get, then maybe the more you start seeing that they start building a kind of a routine for themselves.
I wanted to add something. When you say people often say, like, you might spoil her, I don't really agree with, you being able to spoil a kid, because I think, if I want to carry my child every time it cries, and that's something comfortable for me, then why would anyone put in their opinions towards it? I'm the one that's going to be affected by it. I'm not telling you, come and kind of like, it's my way of doing it. If it works for you, basically, so if you're okay with her going to sleep at 1 and then at 2 the next day, it's what works for you, not what works for everyone else. Or, people bringing in like, oh no, but, my kid's doing this, your kid's roughly the same age, she should be doing this. No. Kids are completely different. And like Mel mentioned, as she gets older, they start building their own like little routine. And as well with you, like, you will start seeing as she gets older, she's going to have much more energy. So, you have to like maybe take her out, try to burn off that energy. Or if not, you're going to go insane at home if, like, you just want to be a chilled mom at home and kind of let her, which is okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I totally agree with you guys. It's so true, because that's what I'm doing with my little one. I'm just literally going by the vibe that she gives, and yeah, like I believe that. If she does cry, I do carry her because it comforts me as much as it comforts her, and she's happy with that. That's kind of, I know it's not going to be like that forever because I'm still a novice. I'm still a newbie.
You're saying you're still a novice, and I'm over here like, I think I'm still a novice. I think we're all still a novice in our way.
Mama, I love you.
How was it finding out you were pregnant?
Oh, gosh. It was something. I actually took a test because before I found out I was pregnant, I was actually going through some appointments with my doctors because I had found out that I had abnormal cells in my cervix. And I was going through some treatments with them, and they were just like investigating. And after loads and loads of tests and appointments, they found out, they saw that I had polycystic ovaries, I had fibroids, I had a cyst on one of my ovaries. They just found out loads of things, and I had abnormal tissues and everything. So they even told me that I could be unfertile and stuff like that. So it was a lot. So literally what happened was they wanted to put me on the pill because I had abnormal bleeding as well. So they wanted to do an operation on me because they found something and they needed to remove it. When I actually went in for the little operation, the doctor said to me that I was too young because after their operation I could definitely not be fertile. So they said because I'm so young that I should go on the pill first for 3 months, and if that doesn't work, then they would do the operation. So that day, I went to the doctor, went to get the pill, and the doctor asked me, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, "No, I'm not pregnant." He's like, "Okay, fine, take your prescription." And then after, I don't know, for the whole day, that question just rang in my head. And it was like, am I pregnant? And I'm thinking, I'm not. Why am I asking myself that? So I literally don't know why. I bought a pregnancy test, and I did the test, and it came back positive. And that's when I was like, I knew it. I didn't know it, but I knew it. So, when you have that intuition, and you're just thinking like. So when I found out, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the test and I did cry. Obviously because it wasn't something that you were planning. I wasn't planning it at all. And obviously after everything that had happened, and they were saying, "Oh, you're not going to be able to have babies" and stuff like that. It was a big shock for me. I don't know why I was really upset at the beginning. I think it was because I had so many plans ahead, especially with my fitness stuff. I was planning to do a fitness competition that same year, and I had started training a month before. So imagine I think I was 3 weeks pregnant, and I was like deadlifting like 60 kilos. I was just like pushing it through every scale of muscle that you can think of.
Wow.
But then after, I think 2-3 days, it just settled down. And then I was just all of a sudden really happy. And because I think I made my mind, I was like, this is, and it's having that perfect age. I'm 29 years old now. And I was thinking, I'm not going to get any younger. I'm not going to wait until God knows how long to have a baby. And I just thought, I think this is the right time. And especially after everything that I'd gone through, this whole scare about not being fertile and stuff. And I thought, this is it. This is the time.
Yeah, I think it probably came at like a sign almost from the universe.
Exactly.
It's basically a miracle baby, because imagine you would have, I don't know, had your operation and maybe it wouldn't have gone to plan. Like, would that have been your only kind of window? And it becomes so hard when, that you've got that cyst in your ovaries and all this shebang going on down there, so.
I did wait until I was 3 months pregnant to announce it to everyone because of the whole situation. They were saying it was quite likely that I could have a miscarriage as well. So it was all that scare as well behind it at the beginning. But once that all passed, and I knew it was happening, then I could, just go and enjoy it a bit more.
Certainly something new.
Do you know what? It reminds me when you said you were deadlifting like 60 kg and everything. reminded me when I found out I was pregnant, I had a kettlebell class that evening.
Yeah.
And as soon as I found out, I was like, no, I can't do this.
And I bet you was like 5 kg or something, not 60.
Mama's Code.
Did it complicate your pregnancy at all?
It didn't, thank God. Everything was fine. I had all the tests and the scans and everything. I did have a lot of pain in my ovary, where the one that had the cyst whilst I was pregnant. But they kept checking it and they said it's fine. And over time, I think probably when I was 4 or 5 months, the pain went after. So yeah, no, luckily it was a low risk pregnancy.
With your fitness regime, did you change anything? Did you carry on going hardcore, or did you think, let me mellow? Or
when I did find out I was pregnant, the first 4 months of my pregnancy was a no-no. I could not do anything. I was sick, I was ill, I would go to work, so my work hours were from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I would get home straight after work, go to sleep, wake up at 12 p.m. because I was just exhausted and tired, eat at 1 p.m. and then go to work at 2 p.m. to repeat the whole day, like all over again. Literally, I would sleep, just sleep. I was tired, I constantly felt sick, so literally I had no time to even think about fitness. And that affected me mentally because for me, I'm always a person that's very active and outgoing, and so many things going on, sorry, I can't speak, so many things going on that to going from that and then going to bed until 1 p.m. and then going to work, and that was a struggle for me. The energy that I needed to get out of my bed to go to work, it was just a lot, and I just could not do it. It was really bad for me because I also had a bit of depression, so I had a bit of prenatal depression as well, because I think it was a mixture of everything, everything that just hit me. I was this active girl always going out, and then all of a sudden, bang, you're in your bed.
Yeah.
You feel sick, you don't want to eat anything, everyone annoys you, you don't even want to go to work, it was just crazy. But like at 4 months, things started to get better, and then I finally decided to get back into exercising. I went slowly back in. I was doing half-hour sessions, but they were quite intense. I wouldn't say they were gentle. So I was doing things like burpees still with my bum. Yeah, literally. But this is the thing. That's just how I am, because my brain always picks up where I last left off. So because I last left off doing burpees and press-ups and everything, I literally went back to that. Obviously, keeping in mind all, the warning signs and everything, I would always listen to my body. I would say to myself, okay, I'm going to do these burpees and squats and lunges and press-ups, but as soon as I feel something dodgy or I don't feel good or there's pain, I'm just going to stop straight away. The only I've stuff was planks. And
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So how far did you plank and do push-ups with your bum?
So this is what happened. At 5, because I was quite small for my pregnancy, so my bump wasn't as big as people didn't even know that I was pregnant when I was going into these classes. So literally I'll go in and people will watch me, and then they'll look at me and they'll say, Hillary, why are you guys so dead? You need to step it up. And I'm like, I'm 5 months pregnant, yeah? Give me a break. And they will literally look at me, they'll be like, wow, you can't see anything. There is nothing there. So literally, because my bump wasn't so big, I think I was able to do planks until I was about probably 6 months. Then at 6 months, I felt my abs, because they'll get so tight, the pain that I would get the 2-3 days after doing those planks, because obviously I was squeezed, obviously when your muscles squeeze and they tighten and your belly's trying to expand and loose, so the pain was just ridiculous. So I think at 6 months I stopped doing planks. I had to, and I was made to, because my body just wasn't coping with it.
Did you feel like you ate more, or did you still keep very tight on your eating?
With my food, so during my pregnancy, this was a really shock to me because I expected the opposite. I got put off food, so I had nothing appetite, like I didn't have an appetite for anything. Nothing satisfied me after I ate it. I would literally just eat because I knew I had to nurture my, growing baby in my tummy, and that was the only thing that was motivating me to eat, because if it was for me, I just wouldn't eat. And I think that's why I lost a lot of weight during my pregnancy. But everything, all the tests and everything were coming out fine and average and normal. But the doctors would tell me, you need to eat, you need to drink and stuff like that. But when I would eat, I would try to eat the good stuff, like try and eat some good protein, vegetables and stuff like that.
When you say about, obviously you lost weight during your pregnancy, did at any point you feel fear for your body? Because obviously you've gone from being this bikini wellness champion and all the other competitions you've done to knowing all the body changes you would have to go through.
When I was pregnant, I could care less about bikini, fitness, first place, all that literally was nowhere near in my head. I think, to be honest, during pregnancy, I had such a hard time in general that all this fitness stuff and my body, and that was the last thing in my head. I had a counselor. I had to do some counseling because I was going through depression as well. And I even remember in one of the sessions I told my counselor, this is meant to be the woman's happiest time of their life, and I am hating this, and this is the worst I have ever experienced. And the woman was just listening to me like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, literally, she was shocked. Yeah, she was so shocked. And I just said to her, I hated it so much, And it was scared me because it would think, oh my God, does that have a link to maybe after when I have my baby, am I going to love my baby? Because I am hating pregnancy. I just couldn't focus on anything else. The whole world was rubbish to me. If you had met me when I was pregnant, you would not have recognized me. I wouldn't even be smiling. Even at work, people noticed my moods changed. I couldn't really speak to people. I was really angry. I was rude to people. I couldn't get fired because of the whole pregnancy law thing. I was rude to customers, and it was just really hard for me. So, the fitness thing and the whole bikini thing, because I was going through such a hard time during pregnancy that didn't even cross my mind.
Mama's Code.
I've never, been toned up or anything. I've had a bit of abs, gonna say it. But I've never had the body like you have, it's to admire. So I remember with my first pregnancy, and I got a few stretch marks, here near your leg. And I would have stretch marks on my bum, but I never had stretch marks on my belly or anywhere else. So I remember seeing something was itching, and I was like, oh, and then it was a little bump, and I was like, oh my God, it's a stretch mark. And then I automatically saw 2 stretch marks on my leg, and I started crying because I was like, no, it's just so much to take in. Obviously, your organs are all being shoved for this baby to be there. And then I know I can talk for all of us, well, me, Jess, and even now we struggle with, the bodies we have now. I'm going to say self-love is something we push out there, but it's still hard for, say, us. So that's why I asked, because, from what you had to maybe what you have now, and you look at yourself, sometimes do you not just wonder I miss my old body, or maybe, your mindset's not there?
Oh, 100%. So also bear in mind, girls, that when I was pregnant, I was also going through my breakup as well. So at 5 months, I had broken up with my partner. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? It was so much going on in my life that's why I wasn't even thinking about that. But obviously after, when I had my baby and everything went past, then after, and I was all at peace and happy happy. Then after I looked at myself one day in the mirror before having a shower, and I was like, oh, Hillary, what happened? So it did, you know, it did happen after, when reality hit me a bit. But that, you know, it was, and I did expect it, to be honest. I did expect that my body to snap back. Yeah, I was expecting my body to look terrible, and not look anything how it looked before, even when I was a bit chubby or like when I was unfit. And yeah, I do admit right now my body is like, I'm the unfittest I've ever been before and everything, even though I have been trying to build it up again. But yeah, like it did shock me when, you know, I saw a lot of changes in my body, and I didn't have a six-pack, and for the first time I'm holding fat in places that I never even knew I could hold fat, you know, like
welcome to the crew.
Yeah, and it was like, now I could relate to all these people and clients that would say to me, Hillary, how do I lose this like you? And I'll be like, oh, you can do it. And now it's like, I can't even tell myself I can do it. So it does get so hard. But I know, because I have been in a process of being able to transform my body, and I know I can do it again, and I know I'm patient, and I know I can make it happen, then, you know, I know it is going to happen, but slowly.
Did you ever feel pressure, maybe even from yourself, about, let's say, snapping back or going back to the person or your body before like pregnancy?
Yeah, no, definitely. There was big pressure because you have a lot of people kind of look up to you. Not that I'm a famous person, but you know, you have a lot of people that, you know, say, Hillary, your body's bold. I want to be
How many Instagram followers?
This is the raw truth right now. So yeah, because I did have a lot of people that will look up to me and things like that. It was more pressure from how people see you. More than anything, because even when I was pregnant, people say, oh, when are you going to do your pregnancy videos and pregnancy workouts? And I just wanted to shoot people while I was pregnant, so it was hard for me to, you know, do that. So after that, like, you know, the pressure is definitely on, because people they kind of want to be around you because of your fitness profile, because of how hardcore you are, because of how dedicated you are with your fitness and stuff. And obviously because of that small, you know, being pregnant and going through the whole journey, not that a lot of people don't understand, but you know, some people are kind of ignorant of it, and they think, okay, Hillary, come on, so what's your fitness saying? What you bringing to us this time? And you know, people like to see entertainment and stuff, and when people don't see that, they'll just forget you. You're either there as like, you know, that fitness brand, and you're like showing crazy transformations and people are entertained, or you're just like not seen as a fitness person anymore, because, do you know what I mean? You know, you've had a baby and it's not there. So yeah, the pressure was a lot after, and that's why. So literally, you know, they say you can go back to working out after 6 weeks. Literally, 5 weeks and 4 days I was in the gym. I was in the gym on the treadmill. I was on the gym on the treadmill, and this is actually funny because people were looking at me and they were like, did you just have a baby yesterday? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm back into training, you know. I thought I was Superwoman in the gym. Then the day after the workout, the way I woke up and my body, I could not get out of bed. I was like, I was crying. I was thinking, what did I do to myself? Why? So, you know, that's how big I felt the pressure. But sometimes I do feel like it is built mentally, and I think, you know, people understand and, you know, you need to go easy. But in my head, because I'm really, you know, hard with myself, I think I was just all creating it in my head, and I was thinking, yeah, you need to get back. And you know, you see Instagram videos of these mums that are like 7 months pregnant, and they're cleaning like 100 kilos on their backs and stuff, and I'm thinking, why? You know, I don't know how realistic it is, but you know, people people kind of expect that from you, and I felt that, you know, everyone was expecting for me to do so much, and my pelvic floor was totally, there was nothing there. And I could feel it when I was running, but you know, in your head, you're like, oh, it will go, it will go. No, it carried on for the whole 50, and I'm thinking, wow, what is going on? I've never felt that before. Obviously, I've never had a child before, so it was just a shock for me. And, you know, I even bought myself a pelvic trainer because I literally, it was painful. And for me, you know, I'm so used to being tight everywhere, and it was just such a weird feeling, and it was scary as well, because it was like, what am I feeling down there? It's just weird. It's just so weird, and I hated the feeling. So I got myself a pelvic trainer. I had to, and yeah, and it's been helping, and it's the best thing I've tried, because I was trying to do.
I was to answer this, or you can pass on the question.
Yeah.
Did it cross your mind at any point? If this is how I feel on a treadmill, imagine when I have the next, you know, sexual relationship.
Yeah, oh my God.
Do anything.
Do you know what? I was so happy. Even now, I'm so happy I don't have a partner, because I don't know. I do not know what would have happened. I don't know if that partner would have like left me by now, but literally, like, I was even thinking that. I was thinking, how the hell, you know, do women keep, you know, their sexual relationship going? Because for me, it's right now, it's even still to this point, I feel it's non-existent. And I don't know how bad this sounds for me saying it right now, but even the first time I put this pelvic trainer inside, it just slipped straight out. Like, it was not staining. It was not staining. And I was thinking, no, I'm gonna return this, man. This is broken. Like, this is not working. But yeah, like it was a lot, you know. For me, that was the biggest shock out of everything, to be honest.
And see, and this is the things people don't see. They're like, you know, come back to trainers, you need to get your bikini body back in and compete. And it's like, no, mate,
Yeah.
your pelvic floor is just not functioning at the moment. But you're not going to now go and tell, like, each Tom, Dick and Harry, like,
Exactly.
that you're smiling outside and you're holding it together, but, you know, behind it's another world.
Puppy.
Good girl.
I know we all want to know, and I know we all love it. How was your labour?
Oh gosh, you know what? I was meant to be a low risk pregnancy. So what happened? My water broke. I think it was 5 in the morning. I went to the toilet. My water broke, and I was actually excited because she came 1 week later. When it happened, when my waters broke, and by the time I got to the hospital, it was greenish. So she had food inside.
Oh no.
I know, so automatically straight away it was like high risk, and I was meant to be having a water birth, you know, peace and candles and, you know, yin and yang and what. So it was nothing like I planned, and they put me straight in the labour ward, and they were like, yeah, we need to get you a hormone drip, we need to get this baby out as soon as possible. So it was actually 21 hours of labour. Terrible. So what happened was, because I really wanted to do just gas and air, and I wanted to, you know, keep it as natural as possible. But once they put you on that hormone drip, it's just apparently it's just something different. So I was 5 hours with just gas and air. And at 5 hours, I was just like, no, I can't do this. Like, the pain was too much. It was too much. It was, what was it again? It was for 10 minutes, it was like 3 massive contractions. And I just couldn't take the pain, you know. And for me, I in my head, I'm like thinking, but Hillary, you squat 100 kg and you kill your legs and you go through some mad pain and you can't handle this pain. What's wrong with you? I was literally like thinking in my head, and I was just like, I couldn't take the pain, you know. I couldn't. It was done. I looked at my mum. The tears came out. I was like, Mum, I can't do this anymore. So they were like, yeah, let's get you on the epidural. So I had to get the epidural, and thank God I could relax a bit. And it was literally 21 hours of labor. I wasn't dilating. Yeah, that was another thing. So when they put the drip on me, when I got there, I was 2 centimeters dilated. After 5 hours of me doing this gas and air, this is when I gave up. When the woman after 5 hours told me, oh, you're 4 centimeters dilated, I was like, no. I'm like, I'm done. I did the epidural, and thank God I did, because it was like 16 hours more to go. And after that, I was ready. It was an hour of pushing her out. It was a lot. I think I passed out like twice. I'm not lying. Yeah, this is real life, girls. And that, what I mean by passing out is that you hear the doctors and hear everything saying, come on, Hillary, push. And then everything goes blank, and then you can't see nothing or hear nothing. And then you come back again. Oh, yeah, because on top of that, I got an infection as well. And it was a lot. I got a fever. So they had to inject me with antibiotics. And everything that could go wrong went wrong. And then I forgot that I was actually giving birth, and I'm looking at all these people saying, come on, and I'm like, oh, I'm pushing. Okay. It even came to a point where the midwife was like, I think we're going to have to intervene. And, if you can't push anymore, we're going to have to take this baby out. I don't know how they were going to do it. And when I heard that, I was like, no. Like, come on, you're stronger than this. You need to do it. And the last 5, just literally, it was like one minute before they were going to intervene, she came out, and I thank God that she did, because you know what, it was just all craziness. My sister was at the labor as well, and she was like scarred for life now. She's literally scarred now. She was watching everything, and she was like, you know what, Hillary, I've known you to be the most hardcore person I know, yeah, and watching you just crying and saying, put this epidural on me, like, it just hit me hard. And she was just like, next time I get pregnant, I think as soon as I step into that hospital, I was like, yeah, was the epidural, because it's not gonna happen. So yeah, it was crazy.
I can't. Honestly, I feel like that's like an episode of EastEnders, like a really good moment, and you're there like, that just happened.
It is a moment that right now you can laugh about and everything. But when it was there, it was not a laughable moment. No. It was I was just happy that she was there,
You know, when someone tells you a labour story, does it not just take you back to when you were giving birth? It always happens to me. I'm like, think back to that moment, and when like my baby's put on my chest, and I'm just kind of like, oh,
reminiscing.
How did you feel?
Yeah, how did you feel those first couple of weeks?
Yeah, first couple of weeks.
I don't know why I felt there was always something going on in my life. So when she was born, we both got an infection, so we had to stay in hospital an extra week because we had to be on antibiotics, and we couldn't leave until the baby's course was finished. So for 3 days, it was just me and the baby. I don't know if you guys remember how it was. Like, obviously I had the epidural, my back was killing me. I was still in a lot of pain. I was still weak, and obviously I was relying on the food that I was getting from the hospital, and the hospital food is just terrible. So I was just eating what the hospital was giving me. Also, my breast milk wasn't coming through. So the first night I was with the baby all night long, and she was just crying and crying, and my breast was just just weren't making milk. And I told the midwife, I said to her, look, there's no milk coming out of my breast, and she's just sucking, and literally, this sounds horrible, but my nipples were bleeding, and they were just like scraped and painful, and his midwife was just looking at me, and she was like, yeah, you need to carry on until the milk comes out. And I felt so helpless. I'm in pain, my back hurts, I'm carrying the baby. all my insides are torn apart. I'm still bleeding like it was World War II and my leg got cut off. Do you know? I felt absolutely terrible. Like, I can't even explain the feeling. I felt helpless, and I felt helpless that I couldn't feed my little baby, you know, like I couldn't give her the milk that she needed, and no one was helping me, you know, and it felt horrible. I didn't sleep for the first 3 nights, all the night with the baby. Luckily, she was actually really good with sleeping at night, but the first 3 days was the worst. But I think it was more because of the help that I didn't get. After that, when my milk started coming, then she started settling down and she was much better. But I think because I didn't get enough sleep, I was getting a lot of anxiety, and I think I was having even a panic attack in my I was going to say in my cell, in my where I was
In your room.
I was having a panic attack because it was like the baby, and you know, when you have this new baby, and like I've held babies before, but it's like you had the full responsibility of this baby, and like you need to provide it and nurture it, and it was all at once, you know. It's like I have responsibility of this newborn baby that I probably don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing this right? No, like, can I sleep? And I wouldn't sleep at night as well. Even though she was sleeping, my eyes would just be open watching her because I was just scared. And I don't know why I was scared. I was just petrified. And I was scared that there was this baby sleeping next to me and I'm dying and I don't know what's going on with my body. Like, it was a lot for me to take in. And, you know, my anxiety got really bad because even after the week after we got home, if she would sleep too much, I'll be like, oh my God, why is she sleeping too much? I need to call the doctor, something's wrong. Or if she would wake up and be up for 5 hours, oh my God, she's up for 5 hours, I need to call the doctor. Or she would she would cry. I'd be like, oh no, she's crying, I need to call the doctor. My anxiety was just out the roof. But I think it was just because everything was so new, you know, and everything just comes like all of a sudden. You don't have time to just, you know, like practice, or it just all happens all at once. I did burst out into tears one day because one day I said to my mum, oh my God, I think the baby's ill. And she looked at me, she's like, Hillary, stop saying your baby's ill because you're putting those words out in the universe and all this. And I looked at my mum and I just started crying. And I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm sad. I don't know if I'm doing this right. And, you know, I literally broke down. And after that, you know, I just, you know, needed to calm down and just take it bit by bit, because I think it was just straight away this bang of like, you're a mum and you need to be perfect and everything needs to be done exactly by the book or by what you see in TV, and you're meant to be laughing like a mother and smiling and be happy, you know. So then I just cut all that out and just, you know, thought of myself. And, you know,
don't you think, like, at that point when you're going through all that, you kind of think no one really mentions that vital information, you know. You can not have that instant connection with your baby. You know, if you haven't slept for like a week or two, you can feel like, oh, for fuck's sake, why did I do this? It's kind of like all this guilt coming into you, like, as you've mentioned and we've mentioned in previous episodes, you know, you get given this baby in the hospital and you're kind of like, yes, we've held babies before, but it's kind of like, who does this baby belong to? It kind of like, you almost think like, oh, wait, hold on a minute, I'm the mom, I'm meant to be responding for the baby. And it is really hard. Like, I feel like, you know, we've all been through different pregnancies, but when I was pregnant, I didn't have no one tell me, you know, you could not have a bond with, like, even these, like, we had an episode previously, you know, where you get to go to birthing classes. In birthing classes, I never got told, as soon as my baby will be born, I would instantly have a connection with my baby. But sometimes you don't. And it's kind of like, or maybe you do, and you feel this undying love for your baby, and then the next day and the weeks after, it's kind of like, ugh, I don't think I really like you. And that's okay. But because, you know, like you say, like you see like Instagram moms and TV moms and, you know, like even like to the point of birth, like when you're watching a film, these ladies don't even bust a sweat. They literally like, and then bang, the baby's out, and then you're like, why didn't this happen to me? Yeah, literally. And it kind of like, you kind of like put yourself in their position, and you're like, well, what happened to my body? Why can't, it function like other women? Like going back to the gym, why can't I be like those gym moms that, they have their baby and then 2 weeks later they're back at the gym, and then like a week after having a baby, they already have abs again. So, it's kind of like you compare yourself too much because you haven't been told and you haven't mentally prepared yourself for what's to come. You kind of just take in what's given to you, but you don't think of like the bigger picture of, what if I get depression? Like you think, oh, that won't happen to me. Like, why would it happen to me? I'm dying to meet my baby, like all through the 9 months. Like you're anxious to meet this person. But no one really sits down with you and like, no, there is a possibility of you getting depression. And it's not you don't love your baby. It's just that the connection's not there, and it's okay. But, like, I for one, when I had Joel, I felt like, oh my God, like, I couldn't feel connected to him. And I felt like such an awful mum. And like, obviously, Melissa and Jess, they weren't mums. And they're my only 2 friends. So I was like, who do I go to? I can't possibly go to my mum and say, I don't love this child. They're kind of like old school, like they kind of like mentally like, yes, you have to have this connection with your child, but you don't. Like now that I'm a mother and I've spoken to millions of mums, you kind of know it's okay. And I was on the same boat, and you almost feel like that relief, like, oh my God, I wasn't the only one. Like
it lessens a little bit. And no one really tells you as well about your hormones. They're bitches. Wow, the way they really mess you up after, to a level that you're almost like, who am I?
Definitely.
What happened to the person that I was before? What happened? And you're there trying to adapt to feeding, to the new routine, to not sleeping, to eating, to everything. Everything is new, absolutely everything. And then your hormones are doing its own thing. Like Erica was saying, that plays a big part as well, and a part that maybe not one that's discussed enough before you become a mum.
But it's that, like you learn as you go, and it's okay if like, you fuck up sometimes. Like I can vouch, like my son's 5 and I've given him moldy bread by accident. He's still alive.
Hillary, you mentioned about around 5 months you went through a breakup with your partner. Mm-hmm. How was that? Did you feel like that impacted you in a way? Did you miss having someone there?
So if you think about your life with your partner and you think, we're very happy, we're building our future together, we're gonna move in together, because we weren't living together yet, but that was the plan. we're gonna move in together, we have all these plans, I'm gonna have my family, because at the like with my mom and dad, they divorced quite later on. He was there throughout my childhood, but they never stayed together. But what I wanted to stay together forever with my husband. That was like one of the things that you most want. And for your child, you want, to bring them up, this loving, caring home and everything. So up to that point, imagine knowing that, and then one day, bang, you ain't got a husband, everything was a lie, that is not going to happen, you're all on your own now, and you're having your first baby all by yourself, you ain't got no future with no one now, it's just you and your baby. So that for me was a big major like set down. I was already going through like depression, and then this happened. You can imagine it was just devastating. It was just the worst, that as if my pregnancy was not going bad already. So it was really hard for me at the beginning. But then after, I think, a month time, like I said, I was doing all counselling and stuff. And, I kind of got myself together, because I thought, Hillary, this isn't about you anymore. This is about your baby. And you need to fix up, because, you're going to have to look after this baby and give it the best you can. So ain't got no time for no tears or anything. You just need to do what you need to do. So I kind of then just focused on myself, and then with the baby, as a mother, obviously you try and do the best to protect your child. So I carried on. I did my own life. I started setting up my own life. So I got my own place. Before she was born, I set up her room. I got her cot, everything. It was literally a happy life again. But this time I had to change my mindset. I had to say, it's just me and my baby, and I'm happy with that because she's all I've ever wanted, and I'm going to give her the best I can. So, I moved on with that, and I got a letter from a solicitor, and it was saying, the father's child knows that you've had a daughter, because until now he didn't even know when she was born, her name. He didn't know nothing about the baby. So I got a letter from the solicitor saying, he wants to play a part in the child's life. You need to give us all your details so we can proceed. And it was just taking it through the law, and basically I think he wanted to take it to court or whatever. So for me personally, I didn't want the law to set any rules for my child. Like, I'm the mother, I'm the one that decides, what I want for my child. So I had to take the decision of just taking it under my control. So I had to get in contact with him. I didn't want to. That was the last thing that went through my head. But I had to get in contact with him. And I thought to myself, if I take this under my control, then at least I can set the rules with my child, and not just, let this... Well, now he's a stranger to me. Do you know what I mean? Let this stranger take my baby and then bring her back 2 days later. And I was thinking, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I kind of set the rules. Surprisingly, he accepted all of that. And he looks like he's ready, not ready, but he looks like he really does want to be in her life and stuff. And so far, he's been coming, visiting her and seeing her. And yeah, it wasn't what I expected. I didn't expect it at all, because from how he was with me, I just didn't think that he was going to bring anything to her.
Whatever was set in your mind has now changed, because, your baby does deserve a father figure. But if that needs to be changed, then you will do so, because, you know what she needs, and she doesn't need a man, showing her disrespect. That's one thing a woman should never be raised to, a man that's just going to sit there and disrespect the mum or even disrespect herself. It's like a balance. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen. Like, I personally have people that I know that, their partners have physically abused them, and then years later they want to, be in their child's life again, and the court's like, yeah, he has a right. Exactly. So you're going to allow a man that's beat me to death be with my child? Like, what part do you... it's because apparently they can change. Okay, cool. I'm all good for second chances, but, if he's hit someone the first time, what makes you think he's not going to do it again? It's just, the logic behind it is just bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit.
Mama's Code.
I have a confession to say. Hillary, when we at times trained, I literally would tell Erica, oh my God, when I grow up.
No. When you used to kiss her, she used to grab my hand and be like, oh my God, I'm not going to wash my cheek. And I'm like,
literally, you're talking about you don't have enough fans. Believe me, I am a fan.
It's hilarious.
I look at Erica and I'll be like, oh my God.
We were dying in your classes, and I remember Melissa's like, we got to have her body. We got to have her body.
That is the goal.
Hilarious.
Anyways, Jess, I must ask, is competing back? Do you see yourself doing it again in a few years' time? Once this whole finding your feet again? And
I think it was a few days ago. I just was bored this day, and I was thinking, let's post some throwbacks on my Instagram. And then I just started posting all these videos, and it was crazy for me as well, because obviously I'm sitting there with my post-pregnancy body not moving and everything, and I'm watching myself when I used to deadlift 100 kilos and stuff, and I'm posting these videos up on Instagram. And then I'm posting, when I won the first place in Canada and California, and I'm like, what? I used to do a lot. And sometimes you almost forget that you've done that. So I actually posted a picture up of me a day before my last competition, and I put a question, and I asked, guys, do you think I should compete again? Literally, I got 200 votes for yes and 2 votes for no. So I was like, all right, I need to do this again. I definitely need to do this again. And I think I want to do it now more than ever, just to see how different my journey will be this time with my daughter, and how hard it is to change your body, almost like an experiment, I guess you can call it, and also to just show women that when you have a child, everything is not impossible. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's on the books.
So excited.
When, I don't know though. I'm thinking now next year. Yeah, don't worry guys, I'll send you the invites and stuff.
So as you are our guest, what would be your golden tip?
Definitely always listen to your body. I'm talking fitness side of things. Because like I said, when I went on that treadmill at 5 weeks and I was running like a maniac, thinking that, I'm going to get my body back, it can all go terribly wrong, ladies. So yeah, definitely listen to your body. That's the main thing, you can do exercise, you can do as much or as little exercise as you want. You just need to know how you feel, as soon as you feel one little thing, and that's even through pregnancy as well. As soon as you feel one little thing and you just don't feel up for it, sometimes you think at pregnancy you feel lazy, but it's not. It's literally how your body feels.
Thank you so much. I think you are doing a beautiful job figuring some heavy shit out, and you're keep strong, girl.
Oh, thank you so much, ladies. Seriously, it's been such a pleasure being here with you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you on stage, Hillary.
Yes, Hillary. Rooting for you.
Mama's Code out. Mwah. Mama's Code.
Did you guys keep your umbilical cord thing?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm terrible. I didn't. I thought it was disgusting.
I